Good morning, folks. This is Jacob Folger, artist sculptor, and today we're going to make a cat. We're going to do it with self-hardening clay. This is Marblex brand. I'm going to roll a ball to start off camera because there's more room over here than on the set. But this is what the ball looks like. Now I'm going to hold it like this between my fingers, and I'm going to roll it like this. This is a really easy way to create a head, a neck, and a body. But you do want to kind of roll it so it goes all the way around. All the way around. So we get that. And then we can sort of shape it to our liking. Make it round and give it a nice shape. Yeah, I think that's a good shot. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just press in here with my thumbs. Like that. And it creates kind of the beginning of the face of the cat. I'm going to take a little bit of clay, a ball. That's probably too big. Let's make it smaller. Maybe about that big. That big. And then roll another one the same size. There we go, so you can see that was too big. Okay, that's about right. I'm going to put it right here. And that's for his little whisker area. I'm going to put two on there. So it look like that. And then I'm going to blend them in with my thumb. I'm pushing together. So it looks something like that. It's kind of hard to reach underneath, so I'm going to take a sculpting tool and just blend that in underneath. Like that. And then I'm going to get a little tiny bit of clay, a little ball, and put it right here for the tip of his nose and blend that in. So this is Sculpty, this is not Sculpty, this is Marblex self-hardening clay. I really like it a lot, but as I said in my last video, I broke down and bought some amateur brand air dry clay. And that will be, I'll be sculpting with that pretty soon. I'm rolling a little ball now for his mouth, or lower jaw. And I'm just going to put it right in there. And blend that in. It looks a little bit like a Mayan at this point. Maybe I can slim this down a little bit. Make him look more like a cat. Okay, I'm going to take a ball tool and I'm going to put in an eye socket, like that. And another one on the other side. like that. And then I'm going to roll a little ball for his eyeball and try to set it in, but it's too big, so I'm going to do it again. Still too big. Take a little clay off and try it again. It's getting there, it's almost there. Take a little bit more off. Set it in. That's about right. I'm going to take it out. Set that ball on the table. And make another one the same size. A little bit big. A little bit more clay off of it. And there we go. Whoop. Set that in here. That's one. And that's two. Now I'm going to take this tool, which is kind of sharp, and I'm going to put in a pupil of the eye, which is like, kind of like that. And I'm doing another one here. So it looks like that. And then I'm going to take a little bit of clay and roll a needle that is kind of sharp on the ends. See? And I'm going to put that over his eye. And that will be his eyelid. And I'll blend that in. And then I'll make another one. These little bits of clay and make it a little bit more. And put that over the other eye. And blend that in. Now I'll take my ball tool. He looks kind of worried at this point, doesn't he? So we want to deal with that. So we'll just smooth this out here. You see, already he looks a little happier, maybe. So softening the markings with adding the clay left can actually make him look a little bit less concerned than he did before. So, you can take a sculpting tool and let's cut this in a little bit. Like that. He's kind of cute. I like him. Whoops. Okay, yeah, he's looking pretty good. Alright. Now, I'm really actually very much into the whole meditation Zen thing, and it's really, for me, a lot of fun to sculpt Zen creatures and such. So, I do it a lot, and I find it actually kind of even a meditative thing that I enjoy doing. Relaxing kind of thing. I'm storing the places that I'm going to join him. Get a little bit of water here. And with a twisting motion, I join him. trim on this lid. That's going to be my workspace. One. Okay, put it back. Now I'm going to make his arms. I'm going to roll a ball off steam and into a needle like that. And I'm going to put it on here. Bend it a little bit, maybe like that. I'm going to make another one, about the same size. Like that. Put it on here. I can blend it in. I'm going to get a little bit of clay. Now I'm running low on clay, so I hope I don't run out before I get it to a point where I want. Yeah, I've got the other clay, but to be honest with you, I can't lift it. It's sitting in the middle of the floor and I can't lift it. I have some mobility issues and I can't get it up off the floor. So I'm calling a friend and hopefully he will bring it, make it possible for me to get that clay so I can work with it. Okay, we got it. Cool. Okay, let's just sculpting in here a little bit. Maybe cut that off there, it's a little bit long. Take a little bit of clay, a little ball of clay, attach it right here. Starting his hands a little bit. Well, you know, it's dabbing off the brush, getting the brush a little bit wet and just kind of wet his hands a little bit. Because I'm going to work on them now. And I want the clay to move well for me. like this. And I'm going to roll it like this. So it looks like that. I don't know if you can see that. This takes, a lot of practice to get to be able to do stuff like this. You may not be able to do it, but you can try and do something, maybe. You can, make some effort anyways in that direction. There we go. It's not, it just takes, practice to get to a point, really, where you can work with your fingers and get them to do what you want them to do. And keep in mind, I have been sculpting for a very long time. Well, it looks kind of good. A little bit of more work on them and cleaning them up and smoothing them, and might work out. Just kind of add little bits of clay to make it look like a robe. Like that. So I want to talk to you about something. It's kind of hard for me to talk about, but I'm going to try because it's important. To make tutorials and get art supplies and have a decent camera and decent software to make videos, all that stuff costs money. And I am not, I'm doing okay. I wouldn't say I'm poor or anything, but I'm definitely not a rich man at all, by any stretch of the imagination. So, a lot of times, I could use a little bit of support. So, what I'm about to do right now is ask you, my viewers, for some support. There's a very easy way to do it, and that is through Patreon.com. When you look at this video, if you look in the video description, you will see a link in there for my Patreon page. And you can go there and make a pledge. It can be a very small amount. $5, $1, whatever. But it will really help support me because I really, really need that. I need help to pay for supplies, cameras that are very good. This is a cell phone I'm using right now. And it's okay, but it's not really optimal. So I really need some help with some money. I need some money to keep things rolling. Well, that's too short. Let me make that longer. So, if you could do that, go to Patreon today, make a pledge, and support the creation of my videos so I can keep making videos. You guys see me stop and start, right? You see me come on, do a bunch of videos, and then disappear for a while? Well, if you're wondering why, that's partly why, because money is an issue, and it's hard to keep the supplies running and the equipment up and all that. So, yeah, please do that. I think I might actually have enough clay to make it through here. Oh, that's nice. He's looking pretty good. I'm going to brush him for a little bit. I like to get my brush wet, but I don't want it soaking wet. I want it just damp, especially like in detail areas like the hands now that are pretty sculpted and detailed. The eyes, places like that. But also, if the brush is soaking wet, you really can't get the kind of grab that you want, to actually smooth the clay the way you want. So that's a consideration. And the brush can actually be used in a way to sculpt also, to detail lines and what have you. I'm using it a little bit right now. I'm actually kind of moving the clay with it. Okay, and so I'm just went around and did a little bit of smoothing and kind of working on his eyes a little bit and just trying to get him looking a little bit more comfortable. And I'm going to take my sculpting tool and I'm going to lay in some wrinkles on his robe. Just kind of carving a little bit. And, I know you guys see me do a lot of the simple shape sculpting where, I roll a ball and I do this and that. But, actually I do a lot of carving when I sculpt on my own, when I'm not doing tutorials. And I may start doing some more of that so you can see how it's done. It's a little bit more involved. But it's really nice to be able to learn how to do that. So this video is actually going to be done in 3 segments. It's going to be a sculpting section part where I do all the sculpting like I'm doing now, and then it's going to be a smoothing segment where I actually spend time smoothing it, because there are a lot of people that like that sort of thing. And it is, as I've said many times, a kind of a quiet time, meditative process that is beneficial to people and myself. So I'm going to do that. And then a third segment will be putting a bronze Verdigris finish on it, which is going to be quite beautiful. And so you'll want to watch all 3 segments, I hope. I'm just carving in wrinkles. It can be very random, I mean, really a robe is not always a certain way, and you definitely want it to look natural. And okay. I hope you're seeing that. I wasn't paying attention to see if it was on stream. I hope you didn't miss all that. I'm going to do his ears. All about this size. Well, I'll start with the best way to do, when you're doing 2 of the same type of thing, 2 ears, 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 feet. It's a good idea to start off with 2 balls the same size, and then you know pretty much that you're going to be close, and you're not going to have problems with the ears being wrong or the wrong size or whatever. So then when you get 2 balls the same size, you roll them to a point like that. And then you squeeze a little bit to kind of flatten it and shape it. So it looks like that. Lay that down and do the same thing for the other side. And try to get them to look alike. They look alike. Pretty much. This one's not quite as sharp. But yeah, they look pretty good. And then you should probably store for this. Only store the top of the head where it's going to go. Store the bottoms of the ears. Like a bit of water and wet the parts. And then apply them with a bit of a twisting motion. And then you can blend them in to the head. You can take a tool like this. Let me get this cleaned up a little bit. Okay, looks like this. Hold the back of his ear and then press like this, kind of creating a bit of a rib right here. This kind of adds some detail to the ear. The same on the other side, like that. Okay, it's looking pretty good. I'm gonna just blend the ears in really good. Okay, we're getting there. Want to get that sleeve a little bit more drapey. I'll do that on the other side a little bit. Put a piece on and blend it in and smooth it in. You can go up under here like this and just lift the robe a little bit and just kind of do that a little bit here and there just to give it kind of a, you know, relaxed kind of, you know, like it is really a robe. It is really a robe that we're making here. You can go around and add texture, and, you know, kind of make it kind of cool and have some depth to the look. And I often, you know, like to sculpt my meditating creatures on rocks because it just is so nice to do that. But I really like. I really want to get back to doing a lot of sculpting and self-hardening in air dry clay because it's very enjoyable for me. I like working with clay that's from the earth and not really so much chemical based or plastic based. I'm a bit of an earth creature myself, and I really like that, so I want to kind of get back to that as I move on in the years. I'm going to try to maybe add a little bit of texture to his face and just kind of laying in little bits of markings, and I think it will add character to the piece. Okay, you're sitting there. I'm sorry when I go off camera like that. I don't mean to do that. Just going to add a little bit more to his robe here in the back. sculpting that in, blending it in. Okay, and then again you can go under and lift little bits of the robe, so it's kind of, it's like it's just flowing and laying there. And kind of get it looking pretty cool that way. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Okay. I'm pretty happy with him, I think. And the next part will be to do the smoothing. Okay, so I'm still working on him, and I decided to do his eyes closed because I couldn't get them right, and sometimes you just have to, you know, make a compromise. I did have some problems getting his eyes to look the same, and so I decided to close his eyes. And actually, I'm kind of happy with the way that looks. I'm still doing details on the robe, kind of carving it in and getting some nice folds put in. And I also bumped his hands and lost both of them and had to redo those. So there were some problems along the way. But he's getting really close. And so the next segment will be to, oh, pardon the sirens, I'm sorry. Yes, the next segment will be to start the smoothing process. And I'm going to do everything on the same video, and then I'm going to kind of cut it up. So I'm going to reintroduce the sculpture and what I'm doing. So if you could bear with me, I'd appreciate it. And we'll start in just a minute. Hello, Jacob Folger, artist sculptor here. For those of you that are just joining us, I have just completed most of the details on this Zen or meditating cat wearing a robe, and now I'm going to start the smoothing process. For me, it is kind of a meditative, relaxing thing that I like to do and enjoy doing. And I recommend a cup of nice tea and a couple different brushes, a soft bristle brush, and also a harder bristle brush, kind of like, let's see, this is kind of a harder bristle brush here, and can be used also for carving as you're smoothing. And then a broader brush that is soft. And I recommend having a cloth to help you, and I'll show you how that works. And yeah, so we'll get started. So a cup of water is a good idea, and you don't want your brush really wet. You kind of just want it damp, so the cloth kind of comes in handy for that. You can dab it. You also can dab it on a table or something like that. You don't want a lot of water on it. So you want it to be kind of just damp. So I am still doing a little bit of sculpting, so I may bring a sculpting tool in from time to time while I'm doing this. I tend to be very careful around the face because it is, and the fingers and the hands and all that, because the detail is very fine and delicate and in its wet state, so definitely don't want to mess with that too much. I did leave a lot of sculpting marks in, which is a style I like. So I don't want to take out all that. I want to just mellow it, make it kind of windblown is a good way to describe what I'm trying to achieve. The music, by the way, is a friend of mine, Alan Bruce Ray. He goes by Bruce. He plays. He's not Native American, so it would be considered Native American style. And he composes his own music, and you'll see some links to places where you can listen to his music online if you look in the video description. He is a wonderful musician. So just going around, taking my time. It's really a nice way to relax. This clay, by the way, is self-hardening clay. You can get it from pretty much online. It's the brand I'm using today is Marblex, and it's a really nice, easy to work with clay. So if you just wanted to, you could take one of my tutorials. You can watch this whole tutorial and make meditating tablet yourself and enjoy that process of smoothing, which is really quite nice. When you're dipping your brush in water, you can kind of stab it into the bottom of the can like this, and that helps to remove the clay from the brush. You can also wipe it on a rag and get it nice and clean that way. And wipe it on your cloth and get it nice and just damp. I am, really careful around the face and the eyes and stuff, but I do want to get up there, and the ears too. I get them nice and smooth. And also, when you're smoothing clay, the best way to smooth it is to drag your brush into the work like that. Drag it in like that, as opposed to like that, which you can put markings on. on it. Go around, and I'm going to use this brush a little bit to kind of carve it a little bit. Yeah, I'm showing out pretty nice. It's very kind of lower piece. Okay. I'm trying to clean my brush off a little bit. So I'm trying to get these fingers, finer detail. So getting close to where I want it. I definitely want some texture in, but this is really quite nice at this point. Kind of using it to carve the folds and lift them a little bit so they look like they're naturally kind of a real robe, you know. And so that's about it. Okay, I've got my cat, meditating cat, about where I want him. So with Marblex clay, I don't know about what kind of clay you're using, but with Marblex, you can put him in the oven on an oven-safe dish for about a half hour on a warm setting, and just let him the surface of this clay dry. He still will be moist inside and also on his bottom. But this will allow us to do a finish on him. And so we will come back in a few minutes and we'll start that process. The cat, he is mostly dry, and now we're going to start the verdigris finish. And the first thing to do is to paint it black. So we're going to use Utrecht Studio Series Acrylic in deep black. You can also use another black paint or Creolean spray paint, acrylic spray paint, which is a very nice paint. You're going to want either a matte or a flat black paint. And this Studio Series acrylic I'll be using is a matte black. Okay, so you want to have a soft bristle brush. And like this brush here, you can see it's very, very soft. And I have the paint on a piece of watercolor paper here. And I'm just going to paint it on. And I want to get it in all the detail. Get it really, really good. And you're going to want to do two good coats. Look at him from all directions. Make sure he is fully covered under his hands, under his chin, all the folds of his robe. And yeah, once you get that done, two coats will come back and do a beautiful verdigris finish on him. Okay, folks, we're back, and we're going to start the verdigris finish on the Zen cat, meditating cat. I'm going to be working, doing a 4-color patina. I'm going to mix these colors here. This is Utrecht Studio Series Acrylic in Creolean blue, right here. Pithalo blue, brilliant purple, and bright aqua green. And to do this, well, first of all, I should say that, normally a patina would be maybe green or something like that, bright aqua green or something like that color. But you can definitely use other colors in your patinas, and I've used as many as 8 or 10. This is just a 4-color patina I'm going to make. So I'm going to take a little bit of the Creolean blue, a little bit of the Pithalo blue, a little bit of the purple, and maybe a little more of that, and some bright aqua green. And I'm kind of mixing those up. I'm just playing with the color a little bit. This is somewhat of an art form, but the way I teach, I think you'll be able to get it and be able to make a nice patina, regardless. Okay, well that's looking pretty good. And so maybe a little bit more green. Okay. Then what I do is I have a cup of water here, get my brush wet, mix it into the paint a little bit, and then apply it with a soft bristle brush to the cat, working it into all the detail. And you can also go and pick up colors from your palette. You don't have to just do the mix. It's up to you. Now, a couple things I want to cover. I don't really like the idea of putting sculpture outdoors. I think it's a bad idea, but people still do it. These paints are indoor paints. You could potentially get mixtures of paint that are exterior grade and do it with exterior grade paint. So that's always a consideration. I'm going to try to get work really good into my signature there. It's okay if it dries, because I'll show you as a trick with this. We'd like to get it covered before it dries, and you can always pick up some more water and put it on. Getting the fingers there. So this is going to be a really kind of a deep blue patina, which will be really quite pretty, I'm sure. You definitely want to work it into all the detail. And then you can take a paper towel and get this paint out of here. Paint out of the way. And you can dab it or wipe it. The big towel, you can use a wet towel or a damp towel to take off the excess paint also. And so we got them looking like that. Now what I'm going to do is clean my brush really good in some water and dry it off. Then I got some of the deep black here off to the side, and I'm going to kind of get it to relax and not be heavy on the brush. And then I'm just going to go over it lightly with the black, kind of just hitting the highlight areas. It's okay to do this when the cat is so wet with the patina. You're just looking to highlight, and you want the patina to show up in the detail areas like the eyes, the mouth, the folds of the robe, the hands, and that sort of thing. Just really kind of a light touch. Now, so you don't have to keep looking at the video when you're doing the finish, I'm going to post his picture in the community section on my page, on my channel at Jake Folger. So when you're doing the finish, you can just go there and look at the picture to see if you're getting it right. And that looks very nice, very, very nice. That patina worked out quite nicely. I'm going to go ahead and get the bottom a little bit too. Just lightly touch it. Okay, so we'll wait a few minutes for that to dry, and then we'll do a little bit of bronze on it. Okay, so we're going to do the bronze portion of the finish on the Zen Cat, and we're working with Pearl X Pigments in the color Antique Bronze. And what I do is I put it in a lid like this and work from there. It's easier to get access to it. Johnson's Paste Wax is my favorite brand. I've used it for many years. I like it a lot and recommend it. So to start, you put your finger into the wax, and once it's on your finger, you kind of swirl it with your thumb a little bit, and then dip it into the bronze, your finger. Get it on your finger like that, and then swirl it again, which kind of gets it really smooth like that. And then just really lightly go over the sculpture and highlight the high points. And, you know, I just recommend doing it lightly. I like a very antique look. So I'm just looking, it's very subdued that I'm trying to do. I get a little bit more wax, a little more bronze. Every time I dip for the bronze, every time I swirl it like that and apply it. I do like to get the bottom as well. And that is basically how I do the bronze portion. Since it is paste wax, after a few minutes, you can take a small soft cloth like a flannel shirt or something like that that you're not using right now, and you can just lightly buff it like that, and it will bring out a nice sheen that is quite pretty. I don't do it all over, I just do it in a few spots, so, you know, when people look, they're like, wow, that is so pretty, and it really is. You know, I fear that the video doesn't do it justice. I hope you're getting this okay. So there he is. Quite a lovely little creation. And as far as sealing him goes, no, I don't think you have to do that. I have pieces that I did years ago, and they're doing just fine. It doesn't rub off or anything. And also sealing it will take away from the depth of the finish. I have sealed a few pieces and regret it later. So yeah. So remember, his image will definitely be in the community section, so you can go and look at him when you're doing your finish. And so that's about it. And if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. Give the video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. And yeah, subscribe and everything. Yeah, do it. And I'll be bringing lots more good stuff, good sculpture, and awesome videos to you. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.